And now for the closing session and awards, I would like to invite the PRACE representatives, so Matei and Serge, to join us on stage, as well as the two awardees for the PRACE Awards, and that would be Petros and Sarah.
Thank you very much, Eleni. So I used to be chair of PRACE Scientific Steering Committee, and currently I no longer hold any role in this organization, but I would still like to take this opportunity to thank on behalf of PRACE to give us the opportunity to present these awards here at this wonderful event. And there are two awards. So the first one is basically PRACE HPC Excellence Award, which is now given away for the second time. And this award recognizes an outstanding individual or a team for groundbreaking research using HPC that leads to significant scientific advances. The focus of the award is on the impact of the winning research on science and HPC rather than on the performance aspects. So the prize committee was the same as the last year and consisted of Dr. Laura Grigori from Indria, who is the current chair. No, he used to be the chair of the prize. So he is the chair of the prize committee and former chair of the PRACE Scientific Steering Committee. And then there was Professor George Byros from University of Texas at Austin, Professor Jack Dangara, University of Tennessee, Professor Eric Lindahl, Stockholm University, Professor Natalie Reuter, University of Bergen, who is actually the chair of the PRACE Scientific Steering Committee, and then me. And this year, the PRACE Award, the PRACE HPC Excellence Award goes to Professor Petros Koumoutsakos from Harvard. And Professor Koumoutsakos is awarded for his seminal contributions in the area of high-performance computing and his fundamental work on the combination of advanced computational modeling techniques with innovation in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Oh, thank you. Okay, so the second award is PRACE Ada Lovelace Award for HPC. It was launched in 2016. The PRACE Ada Lovelace Award is awarded annually to a female scientist who makes an outstanding contribution to and impact on HPC in Europe and the world, and who serves as a role model for women who are at the start of their scientific careers. The award is named after the Countess of Lovelace, a British mathematician who lived in the 19th century and, among other things, worked with Charles Babbage on the machine they called the analytical engine, one of the first precursors to computers. Many historians regard Ada Lovelace's contribution to this mechanical calculator as the very first algorithm, and herself as the first person to rightly be called a programmer. Okay, so this is the award, and this year it goes to Dr. Sarah Neuwirth from University of Frankfurt. Congratulations, Sarah. She is a young, outstanding computer scientist, expert in high-performance communication technologies. She has contributed to the development of technology relevant for HPC and thus potentially having an important impact on other research fields. The committee commends Dr. Neuwirth's involvement in exascale European HPC and praises her participation in numerous program committees. Overall, Dr. Neuwirth has a large impact on the next generation HPC at a global level. The committee also acknowledges her as a role model for women beginning careers in HPC because of her visibility in the science, technology, engineering, and math field, but also through her engagement in outreach activities and participation in other relevant committees.
Next, we invite Axel Heroux to come up and announce the paper awards.
Thank you very much. This year that's one microphone, that's enough. This year we had a record number of submissions to PASC and accepted at the end 26 papers for publication. We are extremely grateful to the committee members, to the reviewers and the authors for their contributions to making this program a success again. And we invite you to take a look at the just published program proceedings. They are on this QR code and you also find them on the homepage. Now, with that, we come to the Best Paper Award for PASC 23. We saw in the morning the keynote from Thorsten Kurth and his co-author Karthik Kashinath is also here about ForecastNet, presenting respectable and demonstrable results that show that you can actually, with machine learning, go not only to large scales and extremely fast speedups, but you can also actually keep predictive quality under control. And there's extremely impressive results that we saw this morning. The decision was relatively easy from the committee. Reviewers were convinced by the results, and with that, I invite you both up to the stage and congratulate you on the result. The conference also gives you a gift in tradition with the innovation presented at the papers, which is Omega's watch from Switzerland. And with that, let me congratulate you. Please. Congratulations. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Next, we announce the Best Poster Awards. The first one goes to Lidia Caros and Oliver Buxton and Peter Vincent from Imperial College London for their poster entitled Optimization of Non-Conventional Airfoils for Martian Rotorcraft with Direct Numerical Simulations using High-Performance Computing. Lidia, I believe you're here.
Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you, Lidia. And now we will invite the second awardee on stage, and this would be Ivan Pribec of the Leibniz Supercomputing Center for his poster on Bridging the Language Gap, Classes for C++, Fortran Interoperability. And this is a poster prize awarded from Digital Discovery at the Platform for Up for the PASC 2023. So we welcome you on stage. Congratulations. Thank you. And I guess the time now comes for us to proceed to some concluding remarks. Yeah, so we start with a small summary of some of the keynotes and talks that we have seen that actually fall directly through to within the topic of this year's PASC, which was computing across scales, domains, and communities. We had an opening keynote that made a point about how we should be considering, the quality and of how we produce and how we conduct research and how data is produced and used. And we had a number of keynotes today also discussing the aspects of computing across scales and also through our awardees that you saw today, but also discussing the architecture and its meaning for this kind of domain-aware computation. And then we also gathered some remarks. Let's see here we go. I will give it over to Mike for these.
Just a few things that came to mind from Lorena's presentation. Don't say sorry, just improve, which I really appreciated. And then Rick's acronym EasyQ, the 4 easy letters. And then for those of you who were able to attend the dinner Monday night, goats, we got to see goats.
Was also, also surprising for me, and I'm in Switzerland still to be in such a setting, so I very much appreciated it. We want to thank all of you, of course, who made this conference possible, those online, but particularly those who made it here in Davos in presence. You will find more of these photos also later on our webpage. And of course, also the scientific committee, many members of which could not be here in presence, but who conducted a lot of work throughout this previous year for preparing both mini symposia sessions, the themes, but also the poster sessions, and in reviewing, actually quite considerable work in reviewing these contributions. Without them, the quality of the program would not have been as high as what you experienced here. We also want to thank the interview team and our photographer, whom you probably saw chasing you around, which would be just to get your remarks and experiences. And again, this you will find later on recorded and uploaded on our platform. And of course, the volunteers who were supporting all of the sessions, who were here early on Monday and are still here today and made this event possible. We want to acknowledge the fact that they work on their own free time and goodwill, and that's always very valuable. And lastly, the people who are always behind the support of PASC, the main enablers of this event, our organizing team, Tatiana and her team, who are the unseen heroes, and they really deserve an applause at this point. So thank you very much. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, the gold and silver sponsors, who are also essential in realizing this event. And now is the time to move on to PASC 2024. And for this, I would like to see if our co-chairs for next year, actually Kate, who is one of the co-chairs for next year, is online. Let me see if we can do this switch. Kate, can you hear us?
I can.
Great. This is very nice. So because we could not have Kate here in presence, we have her online through her voice, as you can hear. And what I will do is to help you proceed through the slides. So you just tell me next, and I will facilitate that. But the floor is yours.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. I am very sorry I cannot be in person this year, but I will definitely be there next year, and you'll be hearing from me and Sid throughout the year. It's my great pleasure to invite you to PASC 24. Next slide. And by the way, that's June 3rd to 5th, as you can see on the slide. Sid and I are very excited to continue this wonderful and unique conference focused on computational science. Please reach out to us if you'd like to volunteer, submit, have any questions at all. Next slide. The theme for PASC 24 builds on themes from previous years of connecting tools and capabilities. This year, we want to focus on the grand challenge of combining physics-based simulations with novel machine learning and AI-based methods to address interdisciplinary problems in science. Next slide. So the next big scientific impacts will unfold as the scientific communities transcend domain boundaries to tackle interesting multidisciplinary questions. But of course, to do that, it's complicated. So we have a pressing need for connected learning, computing paradigms that deliver insightful and explainable solutions. So in this vein, we want to focus on problems where it's designing novel and combined computing, learning, AI, and HPC paradigms all together, which are essential to address these grand challenges. Several examples of these interdisciplinary problems include the impact of climate change on energy resources and food production, the economic consequences of pandemics, or as another example, the development of novel materials to build new computing platforms. Next slide. So next year, please come to ETH Zurich. Next slide. And I'd like to mention this time, it will be held nearby at the ETH Ehrenberg campus. I hope I pronounced that okay.
Close enough.
That is something.
The Hungerberg campus. I'm there. This is why I know. Otherwise, I would also have trouble. But it's the ETH Hungerberg campus. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will practice that this year, so I'll have it nailed by next year. It is one of 2 new campuses and universities in the main Zurich location. It can be easily reached from the city center by bus, or you can use a direct bus link from the main building of UTH. As you can see, it's a very modern new facility, and there are now lots of students studying there. Next slide. And here's another example of how beautiful it is, and the slide you're seeing now is downtown Zurich, which, as you know, has many fun things to do, delicious restaurants, fancy shopping, pretty much anything when your evenings and additional days are free. So, next slide. Please have a safe travel back. We'll see you next year at PASS 24, and start thinking about all these interdisciplinary problems you want to solve and how you're going to combine all these competing paradigms together to make it happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kate.
And thank you all for attending this year. What a great week, and we wish you safe travels. Gute Reise.